Friday. It's 4th and long. It's our favorite time of the week, and we missed all of you so much last weekend. Gentlemen, I missed you. Welcome. We are down a man tonight. Jordan had to work. He's not able to be here, but we're going to have fun without him, and that's his loss, not ours. To my right is Mr. Chris Land. Chris, say hello.
Hello, how are you?
Below me, as usual, is Josh Hawthorne. Last year's Pick'em champ. Not sure if he's going to repeat this year.
It's looking difficult, but
yeah.
hello.
And to his right is our stat man, Lieutenant Daniel Ship. It looks like, based on that glass, he is not on call tonight.
No, I am.
Oh, you are? Oh, so not everyone puts vodka in their Kool-Aid?
It's red water, man.
Red water?
What kind of water you guys got down there in Carolina?
It's like the Mio fruit punch.
Oh, I love it.
I don't like.
But see,
I don't
here's
like
the thing.
drinking. I just don't drink water. I can't stand water.
I love that, but also I put vodka in that too. So
that's why you're an alcoholic.
You don't have to talk about that in front of the millions and millions of viewers at home. Jeez.
Right? Hey, Nathan. Hey, you know what I've learned lately is, accepting that you have a problem is the first step to recovery.
There you go, buddy.
You and I just never get to step 2.
Listen, well,
I mean,
that depends on what we're talking about. Anyway, so last week, last week was interesting. It's been 2 weeks since we've been live. We didn't do a show last week. It was the Thanksgiving holiday. Gentlemen, I trust that you all had great holidays.
I did, yes.
Good enough.
Let's see here. I owe Mr. Ship a quick text message so he understands what order we're going in tonight. Get his stats ready. There we go. See if it sends because you're not on an iPhone, and I am in my basement, of course. Oh, look, lucky you that decided to send. So I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving holiday. I know I did. We did still make picks last week. It was a brutal week, much like the week before, and I want to let everyone know that since we were last live for week 11, when I was 9 games behind Mr. Ship in the standings, I am now only 3 games behind.
2 or 3. Yeah, that's right, 3.
3 games behind. 3 games behind. So we're making up some ground. Ship's still in first place. 3 games behind him is me in second place. Josh and Jordan are tied in 4th place. They are 4 games behind me. 2 games behind them is Chris Land. So Chris Land still has 9 games between him and Ship, but I made up 6 games in 2 weeks. Maybe you can too. And please don't forget,
there's many weeks left.
Special shout out to our presenting sponsor, the Outlaw Jerky Company, the best beef jerky on the planet. And I want to remind the folks at home with a little show and tell here what potentially Chris Land, but specifically the last place finisher, has to eat this year live on our Super Bowl show. That's right. It's the Devil's Breath beef jerky right there. Devil's Breath beef jerky. It is 2 times hotter than the one chip challenge. It is very, very hot. Now, I'm not going to make Chris or whoever eat a bag this big. This is a 4-ounce. This is a 4-ounce bag. This will cost you $10 plus shipping. Well worth it. The flavor's phenomenal. Chris is going to have to eat one at least like this. So this is 2 ounces.
My question is, what's the ounces on a 1-chip challenge?
It's just 1 big tortilla chip, so I'm not sure.
There's got to be an ounce.
Yes, but I don't know.
Hang on.
Statman's going to get it for you. I think a small bag like this, at least
0.21 ounces. 0.21.
Real quick, I think somebody's at my door delivering a package. I'll be right back.
All right, we'll see you in a second.
It's 9 o'clock at night.
Hey, Amazon don't stop, baby. Amazon don't stop.
Hey, they've already delivered something to the wrong house once this week. So let me go check.
I've had a Walmart delivery come to my house at 9:30 at night one night. So
they don't sleep either. So let's talk about last week's picks here real quick. There was a lot of variation last week, but we did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks where we were unanimous across the board, which it's normally 7 or 8 of the picks. There were also 15 games. So considering how many games we had, it's pretty impressive that we all decided to go different. Interesting week, Ship goes 7-8, Josh goes 7-8, Jordan and I go 9-6, Chris goes 9-6. So definitely some shuffling going on, but let's talk real quick real quick about this week's Thursday night game, which of course we're not picking because it's already happened, but go ahead and give us your rundown, Ship. What happened Thursday?
Well, I mean, to be able to say DeMarcus Lawrence was back, Tyrone Smith is back, Amari Cooper's back, CeeDee Lamb's back, you've got Zeke, you've got Tony, you've got Dak, Trayvon Diggs looked good, Anthony Brown, I don't think committed a pass interference because he had like 6 of them the last Thursday game. So it's a plus. My opinion, Taysom Hill is not a quarterback, and he does not need to play quarterback. I'm sorry. He's not the answer. His contract is made to make him look like one. But, I mean, the man threw a football with a splint on his finger. That was impressive. But is that to say that a 60% Taysom Hill is better than 100% Trevor Siemian for the rest of the year? You know what I mean? They push through it. But it helps to get back on track after that losing streak that Dallas had. They're back to 8-4. Washington's starting to kind of make some rumblings. Philadelphia's making some rumblings. So it should be a last interesting, 6 games? I mean, there's still 6 games left. But they look good down in New Orleans. The defense, DeMarcus Lawrence looked good. And sitting since week 1, basically, he's been itching.
I don't think it's a fair judgment to go off of, to judge Amari. I've heard a lot of people say that he had a really bad showing. He was gassed. I mean, he was gassed early. He's coming back from COVID. Personally having COVID, and it affects everybody a little different. But, I mean, you don't feel right for a few weeks if, and to play in the NFL and be at that game speed, I don't think it's fair to hold it against Amari. I don't think Dak looked great. I mean, I know his stats look decent, but I didn't watch the entire game, but the majority of the game that I watched, he didn't look like he should be getting paid the money that he's getting paid. I'll leave it at that. But I mean, as a Cowboys fan, I was sitting here thinking about this last night. How do you feel about Zeke and the two-headed Tony Pollard Zeke? Because anytime I see Zeke on the field, he's getting 2-3 yards a carry, whereas Pollard gets the ball, and I think he's averaging 4 to 5 yards every time he touches the ball. So how do you feel about paying your lead back the contract that he has when your backup is actually doing more damage?
And I can actually attest to that. Looking at it, it's frustrating. You get, I think what his highest game is, because I don't think he's got a 100-yard rushing game all season.
I mean, Pollard had like a 60, 70-yard run last night in one play.
And Tony's good on the screen passes. He's good on the swing plays. I mean, look at last week against the Raiders. What does he do with a little bit of time left? He runs a 100-yard kickoff back for a touchdown.
Okay, so you know what? Yeah,
we're talking about exactly. So, and that's the thing. But Zeke's not a Nick Chubb right now. I don't know. Even though he looks healthy, he looks fit.
He's got a knee injury. I mean, he's nursing a knee injury.
I think he should have sat last night. I do.
Definitely should have sat.
I mean, there was no, oh my God, Zeke's going to be the playmaker. Because last night, to me, the playmaker was Michael Gallup. Gallup looked good in the slot. That catch, his positioning in the corner, a lot of crosses. Dalton Schultz is really starting to pick it back up on the offense. So it's not a lack of productivity from your entire team, because it's not even to the point where they're having to force feed Zeke. Because there was that point a couple years ago where it's like, well, we got to get him back going. We got to give him the ball. Where now it's like, well, shit, he's okay. Well, I'm just going to go this way, or Tony, come on in with your turp tape arms and go run. Do a 30-yard bump and go. But I agree with you. I feel that. I hate the contract. I hate the force it felt on it. And I don't, that money could be spent for defense in the offseason. Because I think Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown, and I'm sorry, but you cannot argue with me. Micah Parsons is the defensive rookie of the year.
He absolutely is. I bet it before the season started. Did you ever have a doubt?
I mean, he's got more sacks than Aaron Donald. He's got more tackles for losses than the next guy. I mean, who else is better than him on defense right now? Honestly,
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. Not just rookies.
That's what
not
I'm
just
saying.
Rookies. I mean,
NFL Defensive Player of the Year right now. Tell me who is better than him right now, because that
Jamar
man.
Chase.
Okay, Jamar
Chase is the greatest player in the NFL. It's not even close.
Hold on, no.
I figured you would have said like T.J. Hushman.
You said Justin Tucker is.
He's the greatest player in NFL history. It's different than right now.
Oh, there we go.
So right now,
Jamar had a very good game last week, did he?
One game does not make the player.
He was plus 400 to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I put $30 to win 120 on it.
Parsons was?
Yes.
I'm feeling pretty good about that bet right now.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, so check this out. Interesting aspect. You won't realize this, but Zeke is ranked 6th in yards this season. He's at 765 yards. He's 6th. He's got 173 attempts. He's 6th in that. He's tied for 5th in touchdowns. Recent games, his highest so far in recent.
You know what's funny is Derrick Henry's been
45?
out 6-7 games now, and I bet he still has more yards than Zeke.
You're probably absolutely right.
He does, and he has more
really
attempts.
A question.
Going into last week, Henry still had the most attempts. I don't know if that's still holding or not.
So check this out. The last 5 games: Denver 10 carries, 51 yards; Atlanta 14 carries, 41 yards; Kansas City 9 carries, 32 yards; Vegas 9 carries, 25 yards; New Orleans 13 carries, 45 yards. That's it. And then you can go and while
Eddie George at the end of his career.
So then flip it over, go to Tony Pollard, and this is just rushing, but it's 4 for 11, 11 for 42, 7 for 50. So in essence, they're getting over 100, but it's taking 2 people to do that. But then you look at like the Atlanta game, Tony had 6 receptions for 56 yards. Vegas, he had 4 receptions for 32 yards. So it is that 2-headed monster that, like, it reminds me of like Michigan football there, Nate. Based on all of your TikToks that you've been doing lately from your Ohio State comments.
All I want to say is if you want 60,000 views on a TikTok, get all of the Walmart Buckeye fans stirred the hell up, because it works, baby.
Did you get 60? Did you get 60K?
60K, over 60K on one video. Just all I did was point out something that is an observable, provable, factual statement. That's all I did. And then I drank a bush. That was it. 63,000 later, I'm getting offers of managers to come sponsor my viral TikTok career and telling me Silver Thunder's the next big sports guru in the world of broadcasting, and I don't know how to handle the fame, guys. I need your help.
Remember us little people when you move up.
Shit, it's getting deep over here, son. I got Jordans on. Don't be trying to get that over here.
Speaking of little people, thanks for telling us what shoes you're wearing tonight, Chris.
Yeah, the Oreos.
So Josh, to answer your question,
one of the hardest sets to get.
So answer your question to wrap it up. I would be happy if they ate the money, traded him away, and say drafted a guy like Breece Hall. I've been big on Breece because I love the way he runs down at Iowa State. So, but I'm happy with them eating the money and moving.
But I mean,
on.
if you look across the league, like I saw somebody talking about this the other day. If you look at the top 4 running backs in fantasy football to start the year, you had Christian McCaffrey, who's now on the IR again. He's been put on the IR more times this year than he has touchdowns. You have Dalvin Cook that's going to be out for a while with a dislocated shoulder. You have Derrick Henry who's out because he broke his foot. And then who was the 4th one?
You've got Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara hasn't played with a knee injury. Like you pay these running backs all this money.
Aaron Jones.
But you look at somebody out in San Francisco, Elijah Mitchell, who's a 6th round pick, who ran all over the Vikings on Sunday. Like if you can pay these guys 6th round, or you can find a running back in the 6th round. That's why you don't
see like massive amounts of running backs taken in the
and that's
round.
why you see the
when you were younger and when I was younger, running backs and quarterbacks were going to be the first 10 picks, and now
that's not the case.
Quarterbacks and defensive ends and corners are way higher drafted. Their careers are longer.
Tell me who the second round pick that was picked at number 41 in the 2020 draft.
Javonte Williams.
Jonathan Taylor.
There you go.
Jonathan Taylor. Okay.
I mean,
was not a first round pick. He barely made the second round.
But
he was in the 2019 draft.
2020.
Yeah. No. Wait.
I'm looking at it. 2020.
2020 draft would make you a rookie in 2021.
No, he was drafted in 2020. He played the 2020 COVID season, which was his first year. This is his second year.
This is
okay. All right.
They threw me through a loop too, Chris. I was like, he's not a rookie.
So
No, not a rookie, not a rookie. But yeah, that's what we referenced.
I have him in 3 out of 5 leagues with Nick Chubb and those same. I have that two-headed monster that now Nick Chubb is like destroying me, but he had me in so many. That tandem had me just rolling for weeks.
I mean, at least you didn't have Derrick Henry in 2 of your 3 leagues. I haven't won a game since Derrick Henry got hurt.
I'm in a league that costs $350, and I haven't won a game in that league since he got hurt either. Mike Davis,
rip in the chat for the boys and their fantasy teams. But love hearing about your fantasy woes, gentlemen. But that's not what this show's about. That's what show do we talk about fantasy football on, Chris Land?
Well, it's so money that has not been really airing as I've had multiple things going on in life here lately.
Well, but in theory, on Sundays at 11:45 right here on 4 Laps Down, you can catch It's So Money with Chris Land. He's giving out free money. Make sure you show up. We're talking your daily fantasy, so your DraftKings, your FanDuel, Super Draft, all that bullshit. He's giving out free money. Make sure you check it out. It's So Money right here on 4 Laps Down. Now, gentlemen, we got 13 games to get through. Some of these games ain't worth jibber-jabbering for 35 minutes about. I'm just warning y'all. However, Daniel Ship's going to bring hot stats about all of them. So let's get right to it here. First game on the docket. I'd love to say this is not going to be interesting, but given the fact of who the favorite team is, it's going to be probably interesting. We've got Detroit hosting the Vikings on the road. Minnesota's a 7-point road favorite. Ship, what do you got for this one, brother?
Hang on, is there no Heard It From Hubie this week?
There is Heard It From Hubie. I'm glad you said that because
I was about to say
I totally forgot.
We can't jump
in. We've got our very.
Do you not remember he posted last week because nobody told him?
So he sent me the clip and I messaged back. Oops, forgot to tell you. He said no problem. I'll post it in the group myself. And I love it. It was one of his best segments. But guys, this is a weekly segment that we do. This is called You Heard It From Hubie. Now, guys, with this new audio interface, I can't mute you during this, so just shut up, okay? But you'll be able to hear it. You'll be able to hear it in real time.
They can't see us, right?
They cannot see you. I don't even want to know why you asked that question, but they will not be able to see you. Chat, here's You Heard It From Hubie.
Gonna do some push-ups.
This poorly produced video has been brought to you by the Outlaw Jerky Company. Get some.
Hello there, sports fans. Welcome to the Rock and Roll Woodshop Sports Desk. I'm your boy Hubie. Thanks for checking in. 4 Laps Down Nation. We are here tonight on 4th and Long. And let me tell you what, there's going to be a different version of You Heard It From Hubie because we are flipping it backwards. We're going to do the good, the bad, the ugly first, and then the review. Let's start with the good. The Cincinnati Bengals scored 41 points this week, crushing Pittsburgh 41-10. Ouch. The bad, the Cleveland Browns, just 10 points versus Baltimore. The Cleveland defense did play well. No, they didn't suck. The ugly, the Philadelphia Eagles managed just 7 points against the really, really bad New York Giants. How bad can it be? So let's go. Let's get on with our review this week. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. This is the Guinness Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. I'm not going to do it in the traditional style. We're just going to frickin' shotgun. Let's go. This is always messy, so I'm going to back up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. 4 laps down. First time reviewing a Guinness product on the program. So I'm going to say this. First of all, if you like Guinness, you're going to like it. If you like coffee, you're probably going to like it. But if you love coffee and you love Guinness, you are going to love it. This is going to get my highest score so far this season, 8.5. Book it. You guys got to try this. I'm your boy Hubie, and hey, I'm out of here. Let's send it back to our esteemed panel.
Well, that was fun. You heard it from Hubie. Why is my camera screwed up? Let me fix that real quick. I know why it's screwed up. That's our weekly segment from Mr. Paul Huber, all the way from the Rock and Roll Wood Shop in Lebanon, Tennessee. Thank you, Hubie. We appreciate you. And all right, guys, let's get right into the picks. The first one we got, Detroit hosting the favored 7-point favorite Minnesota Vikings in Detroit. Detroit still winless, although they did tie a game. What do you think here, Ship? What do you got for us, brother?
So my honest opinion, I think Motor City Dan Campbell. I see 0-16-1 going down. I don't see a win coming anytime soon. But look, 10 of the Vikings' 11 games this season are by one possession. I've talked about it before. They have not lost a game by multiple scores. I think I saw the injury report, and I'm pretty sure Josh can say it. Dalvin's still out. Christian Darisal's still out. Cameron Bynum's still out. I think Kendricks was a questionable, and Mackenzie Alexander and Anthony Barr are also questionable for the Vikings. The other game, though, DeAndre Swift not playing. Trey Flowers not playing. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, one of the linebackers, he's also not playing. So Penei Sewell also questionable. Michael Brockers questionable. So there's a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball. But look, the Lions are one of two teams in the NFL with 5+ losses and also one possession games this season. You want to guess who the other team is?
Minnesota.
Yeah, thank you. You kind of took my.
I got you.
Okay. Got you. But look, Kirk Cousins, 31-15 against teams under 500 entering that game. He's also 7-0 against Detroit since joining Minnesota in 2018. That's the most wins by any quarterback without a loss versus any team in that span. I think it continues. I think he moves to 8-0. Give me Minnesota.
All right, so Ship's taking Minnesota. Josh, I know Jordan's not here to do the L Viking Lucha stunt. Do you want to steal his thunder and do it for him?
Unfortunately, I don't have a Lucha mask that I can throw on and.
Well, you normally steal his clothes, anyways.
Me?
Yeah, don't you?
I mean, if I'm looking for
clothes.
No, I don't.
If he wanted a shirt, never mind.
If I wanted to wear a shirt to my knees, maybe, or like if I wanted a nightgown,
I was gonna say if you and Kinsey wanted to wear the same shirt at the same time.
Correct. Yeah, that's not. I mean, I guess I could fit in his clothes
like a
when
Minnesota Viking moo.
I can fit in his clothes from when he was in when he was 17 or 18, if that counts for anything.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
No, I think Minnesota wins this game. Dalvin Cook being out, we still got Alexander Madison back there. The rookie, I can't really pronounce his first name. Nagwadne. He's a rookie. I don't even know where he came from. He's our kick returner right now. He's ran 2 kickoffs back. They say he's pretty quick. So rumor has it he's going to be
getting Guangnu.
There you go. Yep. He has ran 2 kickoffs back this year so far. I'm hopefully he gets a few touches. It's rumored that CJ Ham, our fullback, is also going to be moving into the running back position. What I want to see from Minnesota is with Dalvin out, I feel like the team plays different. Our biggest win of the year was when Dalvin Cook was out against Seattle, which we all see how bad they're playing. But that was our biggest win of the year. I think we won that game by 16, 17 points. And Dalvin Cook was out. They air the ball out. They don't feel like they have to hand the ball to Cook. They throw the ball down the field, and that's when you have Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, that's a pretty good tandem to have. So I'm going to take Minnesota. I see the lines moved up to 7.5. Over under where'd it go? Over under's 46.5. I'd probably take the under. I don't think Detroit's really going to score a whole lot. So give me Minnesota in this one pretty handily.
Chris, what do you think?
I mean, everything he said seems pretty right to me, and I'm not going to get really that deep into what I could consider just a complete mismatch. So give me Minnesota.
Yeah, I agree with what everybody here has said. I got to go Minnesota on this one. I think
Justin Jefferson is a great play in daily.
I think there's a lot of intrigue from the daily fantasy side in this game, but at the end of the day, we're not picking daily fantasy here. We're picking game winners.
Also, Minnesota, the only team in the NFL to lead by 7 points or more in every single game, and we're below 500.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Minnesota's significantly better than their record. Detroit is every bit as bad as their record would definitely suggest. It's an easy pick. It's an easy pick for me. It's Minnesota. And by the way, Jordan took Minnesota as well. So we're Minnesota across the board there.
You have to pick Minnesota for like the last 2 weeks,
which means Minnesota will lose again.
Exactly.
Outright.
Yeah. So the next game on the schedule, we have the Bears and Andy Dalton hosting the Arizona Cardinals. This one seems like a pretty large mismatch to me, but Chip, what do you got here?
All right, so I like going through them. DeAndre Hopkins and Murray are questionable. They're going to be game time decisions. Byron Murphy also questionable. James Wiggins, the safety, he is out. On the Bears side, Marquise Goodwin is out. Akeem Hicks is out. Mario Edwards is out.
Damian Williams. Andy Dalton is starting.
Justin Fields is doubtful right now. He was limited in practice Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
He's doubtful when he's starting. Let's be honest.
They've already said it. Andy Dalton's starting this week.
Yeah, Tashawn Gibson will be back. He had a chest injury, but he was full participant all week. So Chicago's averaging 169 passing yards this season. That's the fewest since 2018. That's the year that the Cardinals hired Kingsbury and drafted Murray in that year. So season split on the road, the Cardinals are 6-0, averaging 32 points a game. At home, they are 3-2. Just to let you know, this game is in Chicago. The Bears have lost 5 of their last 6 games. Their lone win, by the way, was against those big old 0-10 Lions. The Cardinals are 6-0 on the road. Like I said, they've won each of those games by 10-plus points. Interesting, though, this season, Justin Fields is 2-6, 58% completion rating, 4 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Andy Dalton, 2-1, 64% completion rating, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, with an 89 passer rating. And the Cardinals are 8-0 in games when allowing 20 points or fewer this season. I think that continues regardless of whether it's Kyler or Colt. I still think Arizona gets this one pretty good. I do like, surprise though, I think Cole Kmet has another big game. I'm starting to like him.
Interesting. Yeah, I think this one's an easy pick for me. I mean, the Bears aren't great. Love Andy Dalton to death. Will love him till the day I die, but he's not a contender at the quarterback on 28 teams. He's starting because Fields is hurt. Bears just don't have it this year. The fact that they beat the Bengals, but they did.
They beat the Raiders too.
I know. I'm going Arizona here, and I don't think this game's close. I think Arizona covering is probably a pretty solid bet. I normally wouldn't say that for a 7-point line, but here we go. Josh, what do you think?
I'm going to take Arizona. That's just the smart pick. I watched this same Bears team play on Thanksgiving, and it took a last-second field goal to beat the whatever Detroit Lions. They're not very good. Neither one of those teams are very good. Or not the Lions and the Bears. Sorry, the Cardinals are pretty good this year. I'm taking the Cardinals. It's an easy pick. Even with like Chip said, Colt McCoy as your quarterback. If I'm the Cardinals, I'm rested up. Kyler, let him get healthy. You got a pretty big push here to get the 1 seed. Okay, just let him rest up. It's the same thing that the Browns should have done with Baker. They should have let him sit against Baltimore for that first game going into their bye. But give me Arizona.
Chris?
I mean, I'm on Arizona too, but I mean, don't forget the Jags beat the Bills at home. I mean, you can't just treat games in the NFL like you do in college when it's Alabama against Samford.
Listen, and
Yeah, I mean, you're going
coming east.
I get it, but it's also a team that plays in the desert, getting ready to go play in the snow, or at least cold, and you got a quarterback that hasn't played in weeks. Your best receiver has been on the sideline for 4 weeks. I mean, you just don't come back in, especially in a change of climate, to make it like that. Now, do I think the Cards are going to win? By all means, they should win, and that's my pick. But I don't know what's going on with those injuries there in Arizona. Those injuries should have been IR injuries instead of sitting out week to week.
Yeah,
I mean, D-Hop hasn't played in 4 weeks. And trust me, I know, because like he's cost me first place in a league, and at some point there's something going on. It's either the coaching staff was thinking, "Hey, we can coast and beat some of these teams," and that's going to bite you eventually. I could see it biting you this week if you don't play the quarter, play Christian Kirk, and you don't play D-Hop, like you can kind of rest people like a college mismatch. But this is the NFL.
But
so give me the Cards, but I definitely would not say that it's a good bet to lay 7 or 7.5.
No, but listen, like you said, it's the NFL. Upsets are going to happen. But when you have a game against the Chicago Bears team that their best defensive player is done for the year, they struggled against a winless Lions team. Like, if I'm Arizona, I'm sitting my star quarterback and my star receiver, and I'll let James Conner eat against a banged up Bears defense. Throw the ball when you need to, run the ball down their throats if it's snowing.
Just hit Zach Ertz across the middle. I mean,
right
on your pick.
You got Zach Ertz still. You got AJ Green still. Like,
just saying it ain't as easy as you're making it sound.
No, I mean, look at LA. I mean, look, they built this super team out in LA, and they can't win for shit right now. So they're in danger of not even making playoffs.
I know.
So Jordan picked Arizona as well. So we're the Cardinals across the board on this one. But like I said, a lot to unpack with this game. But I don't think who's going to win is a question mark. Not sure I agree with Chris Land that they should play Kyler Murray. I like the idea of sitting him. I think you get an extra week back because you're going to win this game even with Colt McCoy. But next up on the docket is an even less interesting game. We've got the Dirty Birds hosting Tom Brady. Tom Brady in Atlanta. It's a divisional matchup. It's a divisional matchup. I think it's an easy pick. But Shep, what do you got for us?
So, looking at it, Whitehead's out. Jalen Darden's out for the Bucks with concussion. Let's see. Of course, Brady was a full participant in practice. He's always listed on that injury report, regardless of where he's at. And Ndamukong Suh, Gronk did not participate.
Brown.
He's not even listed on the injury report anymore.
Oh yeah, because he's suspended.
Yeah. He did get his vaccination. Okay, but look, Deion Jones, Jonathan Bullard for the Falcons is not playing, but Tampa Bay has 94 plus point differential this season. That's the 4th highest in the NFL. Atlanta has a minus 103 point differential. That's the 5th lowest in the NFL. Falcons have not allowed a 100-yard rusher. And by the way, I should say, I think Leonard Fournette is having a very, very good full season. He's looking very good. He looked good against Indy. Brady's got in case you're wondering what his career passer rating is against Atlanta, it's 114.2, including the playoff save. It's the 3rd highest by any quarterback versus a single opponent in history. Do you want to guess who are the 2 quarterbacks he trails? The only 2. And they are both against the same team that they have a higher passer rating than Brady.
Is it Peyton Manning against...
So say Peyton Manning against like Jacksonville.
Because Jacksonville's divisional.
Correct.
So it's got to be Peyton Manning and it's got to be Steve McNair.
Wrong. All right. So Aaron Rodgers and Kurt Warner both against Atlanta. So all of them have always been against Atlanta.
No, all right. Now listen, hold on. That's bullshit because
he tricked us.
Yeah, whatever.
That was a trick question.
No, literally, it just said
You said the
says
same.
both of those-
You said the two
both of
quarterbacks
them
were
were
against the same team.
exactly. They're both against Atlanta.
Well, you could have said it's all against Atlanta, and then that would have given us,
Like if I would have gave you that,
guys,
really
just remember, Aaron Rodgers is immunized. Okay, he didn't lie about anything. Ship didn't say, whatever.
Look, Matt Ryan's got fewer than 200 yards passing in 3 straight games. That's his longest since weeks 1 through 5. And Brady's 9-0 career against the Falcons. I think it makes it 10. But like I said, Cordero Patterson is the first player in Falcons history with 400 plus rushing yards, 4 plus rushing touchdowns, 500 receiving yards, and 5 plus receiving touchdowns in a single season.
He is also now listed as their emergency safety.
Yeah, he will go back there and play.
He wants an interception. He said he's trying to get at least one interception this year.
And the Bucs are averaging 41 points a game against Atlanta, by the way.
There you go. So I think all of us at the same time can say our picks. Who are we going with this week, guys?
The Bucs.
The Brady's.
Chris Lamb?
Bucs.
I said it earlier, Bucks.
He said it earlier.
He said it earlier.
So we're all taking Tampa Bay. Chris is taking a fat dip, as you can see.
It's a golf ball.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
It's a pokey Reese.
You don't have to put the whole can in at the same time. You're allowed to break it up.
But he did get a little sling blade-ish when he did that. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're all taking Tampa Bay. It's the obvious pick here. Atlanta's just really bad. Really bad. And that's 3 games out of 3 that we've all been unanimous. I don't know that this next one's going to change. Ship, what can you tell us about the Texans and the Colts?
So look, Jonathan Taylor leads the NFL with 1,205 rushing yards this season. Houston's allowing 135.6 rushing yards per game, in case you're wondering. That's ranked 31st in the league in rushing defense. The Texans have scored fewer than 10 points in 5 games this season. Jonathan Taylor, again, he's the first player in Colts history with 1,500 plus scrimmage yards and 15 plus touchdowns in his first 12 games of a season. Carson Wentz last 2 seasons with Philly and stuff. I mean, they talk about it. He's averaging more yardage. He's thrown more touchdowns and only 5 interceptions this season. So he looks and to me he looks more.
He looks more Philadelphia
relaxed.
Eagles Wentz, like good Wentz, not injured, dragging him off the field Wentz. He was my pick for MVP this year at the beginning of the year.
It's really big this week because next week they'll have a bye, and then after their week 14 bye, the Colts play 3 straight teams that are currently over 500. They'll play New England, Arizona, Vegas. So to get to 7-6, and then take that week 14 bye and then go New England, Arizona, Vegas. So I think it's very important for them. The sneaky with Houston, though, I do agree. I mean, he's 2-3 as the start of the season as Tyrod Taylor. In case you're wondering, Davis Mills went 0-6 as a starter. So Tyrod's got all the wins. So Indy.
Oh, there you go. There you have it, guys. Daniel Ship takes Colts. I don't know that anyone's surprised by that. I mean, the Colts are definitely a better team. Houston's squeaking one out last week in a kind of a shocker, to be honest with you.
They didn't squeak one out last week. They lost to the Jets.
Yeah, they lost to the Jets.
When did they? Or was it 2 weeks ago? Oh, it was 2 weeks ago that they won.
Yeah,
that's right. We haven't been live in 2 weeks. My fault.
You picked the Jets last week, by the way, and I picked Houston.
My fault. I know, but I did not pick Houston when they won 2 weeks ago. I remember that. So I'm going Colts here. I think this one's a pretty easy pick. Chris, what do you think?
Colts.
He ain't got shit.
It's that. I mean,
he's afraid if he talks, he's going to swallow that thing. So he's just going Colts.
No. I mean, it really doesn't take much. I mean, the Colts are playing probably at least at the top 3 type teams in the. They're hot right now, and they're playing a team that they already housed once this year. So it's Colts.
So Jordan took the Colts as well. Josh, what do you think?
Hey, it's the Colts. Like I said, Carson Wentz was my MVP pick before he sprained both his ankles earlier this year. He's playing well. Jonathan Taylor's running the ball well. I'm glad that they finally realized that he is their best back. I mean, he's given some sort of a hope to any kind of future running backs wanting to play in the NFL because everybody else is just hurt or banged up. So I think it's a pretty easy pick. I think Indy runs away with it. You know, they can control the clock and run the ball when need be. I think Indy's better than their record shows. They had Baltimore beat. You know, they're definitely poised to make a decent run in the AFC when it comes to playoff time.
So real quick, I don't know if do you guys watch the Hard Knocks? Have you guys watched it at all?
No.
Really good. And he's sitting down. Ballard is sitting down with one of the coaches, and I can't remember who it was, but Ballard said that Jonathan Taylor is the greatest player he has ever seen in his NFL PM career. In his lifetime. Just he said that. So, but I revert back because Chris talked about the trouncing. That was October 17th when they played. Colts won 31-13. In that game, Carson Wentz was 11 of 20 for 223 and 2. Jonathan Taylor, 14 carries, 145 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mark Ingram was the biggest rusher for Houston with 73 yards.
There you have it. Chris said it first. We all said it after.
Quick math tells me that's over 10 yards a carry for Jonathan Taylor.
That is over 10 yards a carry. That's good.
Quick math with score sheet.
Quick math.
All right. So look. So far, we've all picked. I need to add that sound effects to this. Hold on.
What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Hey, yo.
So
my daughter was playing that when I got in the car.
Fuck your life. Bing bong.
So look. All right. Here's the deal. We've all picked every single game. Everybody the same pick. Are we gonna get any difference? Are we gonna diverge at all?
I told you, I'm starting to pick smart and not with my heart now. That's honestly where I'm going. And I'm not saying smart to hold a lead. I'm saying smart in stats and picks. Not I got to get away from the.
I don't know if we're gonna have a different pick this week. That's not a meme.
Yeah, the next game I think might be one where we do. We've got the Jets hosting the Eagles. The Eagles are 6.5-point road favorites, which I know normally you'd think, well, that's pretty cut and dry. But I don't know. What do we think, gentlemen?
I'll start. Zach Wilson's terrible. He can't keep from throwing the ball to the other team. I watched the Texans game. He had a receiver 5 yards away. 5 yards away. The closest defender was 7 yards away. He throws the ball and somehow it gets intercepted. I've never seen it before. No defender in between him and the receiver. It hit off the receiver's shoulder, bounced up in the air and whatever. But regardless, it's the Jets. They have the butt fumble. They have the rogue interception, if you will. They're terrible. They are terrible. Give me the Eagles in this game. They run away with it. I don't care about Ship's stats. I want to hear them, but I'm picking. It's not going to change my pick. I'm picking the Eagles over the Jets because they're terrible. I don't care if they beat the Texans. The Texans aren't good either. We've all established that. So
they beat the Bengals.
Eagles fly. Ship's gonna hate it because he hates picking the Eagles, and he's gonna have to pick them this week.
You're absolutely right. So look, Jordan Howard is out this. Howard's out this week. Jalen Hurts is listed as questionable with his ankle. Boston Scott should be back with his illness.
Who is the backup for Philly?
Backup quarterback?
Boston Scott.
No, Gardner Minshew.
Oh, Gardner Minshew.
Oh, that's right.
Stash. For the Jets,
because they traded
Sheldon Rankins,
one Joe Flacco.
Hey, he's on the Jets. He's on the backup for the Jets.
Yeah.
So Sheldon Rankins is doubtful for the Jets. Questionable is Corey Davis with a groin injury. It's a game time for him. And John Franklin Myers, the defensive lineman, and Folorenzo Fatukasi. I just want to say the name. He's got a back injury. And Quincy Williams has a calf injury.
Does he play?
He is a defensive lineman.
He sounds like a punter.
He sounds like a punt.
He does. So look, the Eagles have won their last game before their bye in each of their last 5 seasons. The Jets have allowed 20 rushing touchdowns this season. That's the most in the NFL. Philly is the only team to have 4 players with 3+ rushing touchdowns. Chris, you brought up this stat, and I'm going to bring it to you because it's actually listed in my stats. The Eagles are 11-0 all time versus the Jets. The most wins without a loss in any all-time series amongst current franchises. You brought it up. The Jets have allowed 17.2 points a game in the first half. That's the most in the NFL. And the Eagles on the road, they're 4-3, whereas they're at home, they're 1-4. And the Jets have not won 2 straight games since weeks 15 and 16 of 2020 when they defeated Houston last week. So And fun fact, Philly is the 12th team all time to play regular season road games in the same stadium, MetLife, in 2 straight weeks. Only 2 of the previous 11 such teams lost both of those games. So Philly goes to New York, plays the Giants last week, comes back to Philly, goes back to New York or New Jersey, wherever it's called.
Thank
Wherever
you.
it's at. That's a stat right there, boys. That's a stat. He's coming with big stats this week, and I love it.
I want the bird team. I want the bird team.
You won't even say their name, guys.
I know he's got to say it. He's got to say it. He has to pick them. You could argue that a bird is a jet.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Chris, what do you think?
I'm taking the Eagles because it's a smart pick, but they were the worst coach team in the NFL last week. They continued to just try to throw the ball, and they were just, and the Giants give them the run up the middle. They dared them to run up the middle, and they kept running to the either right to the press on the corners to cut the edge off on Hurt, or they just kept trying to throw the ball. It was just horrible. I mean, their offensive game plan was terrible. But with that being said, they're still playing the Jets, so you take the Eagles because it's stupid not to.
I mean, that's as convincing an argument as I've ever heard. Look, Jordan took the Eagles as well. Rest in peace, Jordan. I can't pick the Jets. I just can't. They beat the Bengals, and I'm mad. They beat the Bengals, and I'm mad. Bing bong. It's the
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Fuck your life! Bing bong!
So I'm gonna have way more fun than anyone ever should with this little thing with the buttons. It's the
If you see these dogs in your front yard, just know upstairs I'm going hard. Bing bong.
Somebody got a stream deck, and he's having way too much fun.
No, I've had a Stream Deck. I got something different. So the Stream Deck is what controls all the logos and everything on stream. Next game, we all picked the Eagles. Shocker. Next game, ooh, here you go. I'll bet we don't all pick the same on this one. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Cincinnati right now is given 3 points as the home team. We'll see if that line holds. Chris, why don't you start us off with this one?
I'm taking the Bengals.
What a boy.
The Bengals have been running the ball, and the Chargers don't like to stop the run. And it seems like for about the last 3 or 4 weeks, teams have been making sure they don't give up the big play, and that's just opened it up for Mixon. So, I mean, I think the Chargers score some points. I think like 34-24. So that would put that game over. But I'm taking the Bengals because the Chargers don't want to tackle running backs.
Jordan takes the Bengals as well. Ship, what do you got for us on this one, bud?
All right, so injury report real quick, and this is actually what swayed my decision here. So with the Bengals, Chris Evans, a backup running back, he's doubtful. Trey Hopkins, the center, is questionable. Khalid Kareem, the defensive end, is doubtful. When you go to the Chargers, Alohi Gilman is out, the safety, and Asante Samuel Jr., who is still out for concussion protocol. So Austin Eckler has averaged 75 yards per game in 2 career games versus the Bengals. The Chargers have allowed 24 plus points and 300 total plus yards in 7 straight games this year. Their defense is just not consistent, and they're frustrating with me because they'll be really good one week, and then the next week it's a completely different team. The Bengals have 24 points of average margin of victory in their last 4 wins. They had 6.7 in the first 3. Jamar Chase has fewer than 50 receiving yards in 4 straight games. He had 50 plus in each of his first 7. The good old conversation, would you take Herbert or would you take Burrow? Right now, Herbert 6-5, 66 completion rating, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Joey Burrow 69% completion rating, 22 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Both of them are about 5 percentage points difference on the passer rating. It's not much, but Herbert's 5-0 with a 100-plus passer rating in games this season. He's 1-5 with a sub-100. The final thing, Cincinnati has the 4th toughest remaining schedule of the AFC. Each of their 6 remaining opponents all have a 500 plus winning percentage. The swaying for me is that with Higgins and Chase, you don't have one of your best corners in Asante Samuel Jr. playing on Sunday. So give me the Tiger Stripes.
Tigres. Josh, what do you think?
I'm also going to take the Bengals. I watched Joe Mixon run all over Pittsburgh last week.
God, that game was ugly.
I mean, it got ugly quick. And then the Bengals just ran the ball. That's probably why you didn't see Chase with a lot of, receiving yards last week, because they just ran it down Pittsburgh's throat. LA is one of the worst, if not the worst, against the run. I think it's a lot of the same. I think Mixon goes for another 100 plus in this game. I'm going to take the Bengals as well, just because the Chargers, in the first 5 weeks, we were writing them into the Super Bowl. Go ahead and put them in. They're the new leader in the AFC. With Kansas City playing the way that they were, now it's we're back to where we were. Kansas City is back atop the division. The Chargers are in a dysfunction mess right now. Las Vegas is a mess right now. So I'm going to take the Bengals. I watched them dismantle that Pittsburgh team. So go Bengals.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's not good. Joe Mixon, I think, has been the breakout star offensively for Cincinnati this year. Not that he's necessarily outshone Jamar Chase, but I think Chase is performing about as was expected of him coming into this season. Joe Mixon's having himself a year. Joe Mixon's about to get paid coming up here. I think he's got maybe 1 year left on his contract, and then he's going to get some serious cheddar the way he's.
I thought they extended him before the year, didn't they?
I thought he only got a 2-year extension, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I forget exactly, but he's playing his way into a lot of money as a really great NFL back. He's been one of the most consistent backs, in the AFC. I mean, go ahead.
Joe Mixon signed a 4-year, $48 million contract with the Bengals to include a $10 million signing bonus, $10 million guaranteed, and average starting value salary of $12 million in 2021.
Yeah, I thought they extended him longer than 2 years.
Paid. Well, listen,
he's on a 4-year. They got rid of G.
Well, you know what? Give it to the Bengals for paying him ahead of the breakout.
Yeah, he's earned every
instead
penny.
Of letting him go to the free agent. So give a little bit of because I didn't believe in that deal. He's
earning every penny. He's well worth it. I think he's been the most valuable player on the Bengals this year for sure. And I'm a big Jamar Chase guy, as you know. Obviously, I'm taking the Bengals in this game. I think that the Bengals are on the upswing. I think the Chargers are on the downswing. The Bengals, I think, are really poised to make a decent playoff push here. I'm stunned as all shit that it's week 13, and I'm saying that. My expectations coming into this season were tremendously lower than they're performing right now. I'm happy. It's a great time to be a Bengals fan. Burrow, Mixon, Boyd, Jamar Chase. Their defense is pretty decent, to be honest with you. Sam Hubbard's been, I think, he's impressed me more than what I expected out of him. It's a great time to be a Bengals fan, guys. I'm just telling you, there's plenty of room on the bandwagon. I know I'm the only one on the screen right now that's a Bengals fan. Guys, come on, plenty of room.
Listen, it's a good time to be a Cincinnati fan in general.
Marvin was thinking about coming on the bandwagon. Wanna let him on?
Marvin Lewis?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Plenty of room. Come on, baby. Marvin Jones can come too. Marvin the Martian, I don't care. Let's go. Give me them Bengals. Come on now.
Bengals by 14.
Come on now. And I got to say this while we're on the topic of Cincinnati. The College Football Playoff Committee is meeting as we speak, still looking to find a way to screw them out of the playoffs. And it's looking like it's going to
beat Houston.
They're going to beat Houston. There's no question there. But listen, they're going to find a way to screw them out of the playoffs. It's not going to include putting a 2-loss team on there, but they're going to give the rub, I think, to a 1-loss Notre Dame or a 1-loss Oklahoma State. Not that they should. That's just what they're going to do because they don't want the smoke.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Uncle Fickle's
Notre Dame just lost their head coach.
Kelly.
Notre Dame just lost their head coach, and the committee takes that into effect.
Listen. Notre Dame's going to play better under Freeman.
Side note, y'all gotta watch.
Don't talk about it.
You gotta watch the press conference
where he's at the basketball game.
No,
he's and suddenly he gets a southern accent.
Bro, he's been roasted on Twitter all day.
Yeah,
I heard Colin Cowherd say earlier he was like, Brian Kelly, stay off the internet for the next week because he does not want to see. Have you seen it, Nathan? I brought my family. Like, it's terrible. They're like,
I have not watched it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Chris, when we're done, you got to
terrible.
pull it up and watch it. It's hilarious.
The thing is, Chris, is he's making fun of people that talk like you, so you're gonna be offended. You're gonna want to kill him.
I already don't like him.
Yeah, nobody does. I mean, let's be honest. Here's a guy that shags ass and runs when he finally gets UC into the Sugar Bowl, and Tim Tebow comes and drops 460 with 5 touchdowns and I think 2 more on the ground. Something ridiculous. It was statistically Tebow's best college game ever. And then
Who were you rooting for in that game, by the way?
at Florida. I was wearing UC shit, but I was screaming my ass off for the Gators.
All right, so in case you're wondering, box score for that game: Tim Tebow 31 of 35, 482 and 3 touchdowns passing, 14 rushing yards, 14 attempts, 51 rushing yards, 1 touchdown.
Okay.
In case you're wondering, on that team, you had Travis Kelce on the Cincinnati team. You had Jeffrey Demps. You had Emmanuel Moody, Chris Rainey, Mike Gillisley, Riley Cooper, Aaron Hernandez.
Goon Squad. Squad Gators team. Yeah, by the way, that was before Travis Kelce learned how to play football well. He did just enough at Cincinnati to get drafted. He finally realized if he got his shit together, he could make some money playing it because he was big enough. And that was his year back after getting suspended for smoking a joint on campus. And
he had 0 receptions that game.
Well, keep in mind, Travis Kelce's junior year, which that was, he was used primarily as a Tebow-style wildcat quarterback. He did
have 1 rush for 19 yards in that game.
Travis Kelce was never a true purebred tight end at UC. He didn't become that till he got to the NFL. He was a quarterback in college, was recruited as a quarterback, ended up playing a little bit of wildcat, got suspended for smoking dope, came back, got his shit together, had a pretty decent senior year playing mostly a tight end style position, and the rest is history. So fun times. Bing bong. Next game, the Dolphins and the Giants. Huh?
He said good times in Clifton.
Clifton's great. I love Clifton.
I love
Clifton. Miami.
You never know when you're getting a random series of cops being recorded.
Yeah, well, you'll have that on those bigger jobs.
A great recruiting tool.
It's the Dolphins and the Giants in Miami, Florida. What are we thinking, boys?
I'll start Miami. Daniel Jones out for the Giants. I don't know who the hell's playing quarterback for him.
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon, the neck.
Oh, good.
He's 1-0 lifetime against the Dolphins. He is 1-0.
Hey, go ahead and take that. I'm going to take the Dolphins in this one.
So it's not only that, but Kadarius Toney's out. Sterling Shepard's doubtful. And there's and Adoree Jackson, who is the Giants' star quarterback, he is not playing as well. Which leaves that RPO style Jalen Waddle, who, by the way, if you don't know, Jalen Waddle is 5th in the league in receptions.
I know.
So look, the Dolphins have scored 28 plus points in each of 2 of his 4 career starts. And by the way, if you haven't figured out, the Dolphins, I believe, are like 4-0 their last 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
So Saquon Barkley's got 60 rushing yards or fewer in 5 carries. Let's see. The Dolphins have allowed fewer than 400 yards in 7 straight games. That's their longest streak since 2016. Kenny Galladay this season have come on first down. 20 of his receptions come on it. My last little one, Tua has a 100-plus passer rating in 3 straight games. That's the longest streak of his career, and that's the longest active streak in the NFL. Yeah, I think they look good.
Pretty good stats on Tua this week. I was surprised. My opinion of him is
well, they looked a lot better against Carolina, and I mean they forced Carolina to basically bench Cam Newton with a 5.6 passer rating. It is mad. Miami.
Can we help you, Chris?
You got a phone call?
That's what happens when your 17-year-old sends you a message that you open and it's Justin Bieber or somebody. I don't know.
So
she's 17. God love her. She loves her daddy. Give her a break.
Oh, I'm not upset with her. I'm upset with you for being too stupid to know not to open it while we're live.
You have a 17-year-old and it's 9:40 at night.
Well, if you combine the amount of kids he has, that makes one 17-year-old. If you combine the ages of all his kids, you get a 17-year-old.
It's probably more than that, and way more attitude than one 17-year-old. But who did you pick, Shep? I couldn't. Chris's phone.
Miami.
Okay, Miami, cool. Chris, what do you think on this game, buddy?
I'm all over Miami. I've already opened a parlay with them. I got them when they were at -4. This game's probably going to go off more like -6 or 7 now. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, as of 4:00 this afternoon, it was already -6.
Yeah, it opened at like 2.
Well,
Daniel
Jones is out.
3. I got it at 3 earlier in the week when I opened up a parlay, which makes me feel good about that. And I have that with Utah -3, and they're up 14, getting ready at least 17-0 going into half. So that's a good
Oregon's
start.
Trash.
And Utah just fucking houses them every time.
Yeah, they're Oregon's daddies.
They show Oregon that you are not physical at all.
And you know what's great about Oregon?
Nothing.
They beat Ohio State.
They beat Ohio State.
That is true. So did the U of M.
Yeah, well, so I'm going.
If Ohio State beats Oregon, they're still in this conversation, boys.
They're still probable, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course they are. They're all, whoop, we lost ship.
I'm coming
but
back.
you know
Go
what
ahead,
we
Pros,
say
I'm back.
on this show? If my aunt had...
Be my
Be
uncle.
my uncle.
Bing bong. I need a soundbite of Chris saying that I can play all the time. If my
I will
aunt
give you
had
one.
balls, she'd bing bong, be my uncle. All right. Next game, we're Miami across the board. I don't have anything to add that you guys haven't said. The Giants only stand a chance if Daniel Jones plays. He's not. It's easy. Miami's on the upswing. Tua's trying to prove that he knows how to play football in the NFL. He's making some progress. I'm not mad at him for it, but it's going to be Miami. Next up, you've got the Raiders hosting the Washington Racisms as Chris ducks down to get something. Chris, we're talking about the Raiders. I show this one as -1.5 to the Raiders. Chip, what do you got on this one, buddy?
So Carl Nassib is out. Patrick Awunasaur is out.
I know Nassib came out a while ago. Talk about the game though?
Oh Lord. Landon Collins, the safety, is out. J.D. McKissick is out. Wes Schweitzer is out. Let's see. The football team has won 3 straight games versus the Raiders by 10+ points. Derek Carr, he's leading the NFL with 310 passing yards per game. The football team 0-4 in games versus AFC teams this season. They are 5-2 against NFC teams. The Raiders have allowed 30+ points in 3 straight games. And the Raiders lead the NFL with 35% quarterback pressure rate this season, despite blitzing on 14% of their opponent dropbacks, which is the fewest. And the football team has won 3 straight games after starting 2-6. In the 6 wins, Derek Carr is 373 yards, 3 touchdowns with a 108 passer rating. In his losses, he's about 130 yards less in his passes. He's 6-6 touchdowns to INTs. And he's about 20 points less on his passer rating. Yes, Washington has been great, but I just, the way that Vegas played against Dallas, get rid of the penalties overall. I mean, there was a lot of good plays in that game. And I like the way Josh Jacobs ran. They used Deshaun Jackson pretty good. This one, I am going to take Vegas.
Chris, what do you think?
Heineke.
Well, do you know I'm jinxed? I mean, I took Washington to play in the Super Bowl, and then my favorite team is the Raiders, and every time I pick the Raiders, they lose, and Washington's been playing significantly better. So, man, I'm taking the Raiders at home because, you know what? I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to root for them, and I'm just going to take the Raiders at this point. I'm in last anyway.
I mean, look, if the Raiders win, it ain't stupid if it works, right?
I get it. It just hasn't this year. It is the exact opposite. I don't think I've picked them right, except when I picked against them. I don't think I've picked them to win when they've won.
Look,
I'm gonna take the Raiders. Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Taylor Heineke. I mean, I watched the Washington team, the Racisms, almost let a really bad Seattle team come back and win that or tie that game and take it overtime against them last week. They should have beat Seattle pretty handily, and they didn't. like Ship said, McKissick out with a concussion. I know the Raiders had a lot of stuff going on there for a while. They look like they bounced back a little bit with the help of the Zebras against the Cowboys.
And Gibson is going to have a monster day, though.
Probably, but I'm going to take the Raiders.
Okay, well, Jordan took the Washington football team. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but
I can see.
Jordan.
It seems like I want to.
Seems like you want to. Look,
I just because I want the Raiders to win, and I feel like
I think that because Chris Land took the Raiders, they're going to lose. I also think Heineke has shown. In all seriousness, I think Heineke has shown that he can be serviceable some weeks. He's not good, not great, but I think the Raiders are in shambles right now. I'm really this pick is a lot more of an indictment against Vegas than it is an endorsement of the Washington football team.
You remember when we used to be friends?
I don't, because we never were.
I see.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I've got to go Washington here. I think this is a bad football game. I think it's too marginally.
I think Washington is on the upswing. I do.
And I wouldn't call it an upswing. They're in a little bit better of a mental state than the Raiders. I think the Raiders have shown that they're as inconsistent as anybody. I'm going Washington with this one. So that's the first game we haven't all picked together. By the way, 2 of us Washington, the rest of us Raiders. So let's see here. Next game on the docket, we've got an AFC North
they beat
matchup.
The Bucks. They won at the Panthers. They won at Seattle. I mean, they're on an upswing. Raiders.
Yep, Raiders are not going to win.
I know it.
Just telling you. All right, next game is an AFC North matchup. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Baltimore's given 4.5 as a road team. Not so sure about that. But Ship, what do you think about that?
So look, Cedric Ogbuehi, the offensive tackle, he's out. Miles Boykin's out. Nick Boyle could be questionable with his knee. Marlon Humphrey is questionable. Adafe Owehi is questionable. Who's the outside linebacker? Quis Westry.
Do you practice all these names before we go live?
I do. Taven Young, Anthony Averett. There's a lot of guys. Patrick Queen is still questionable. He was a full participant today, so they may get him back. He's not guaranteed to play, though. The Steelers-wise, Isaiah Buggs is out. Joe Hayden, the cornerback, is out. The Steelers will be without him. He didn't practice all week due to the foot injury. Isaiah Loudermilk, Cameron Hayward also did not practice due to illness. He was placed on the injury report for the first time this season. Ben Roethlisberger with his pectoral and right shoulder, he was a full participant. So, look, Lamar Jackson, he's 6-2 in his career following a game where he has multiple turnovers. In case you're wondering, do you guys remember how many interceptions he threw last week?
3, right?
It would be 4.
Oh, was it 4?
It was 4. Yeah. Look, the Steelers have allowed 41-plus points in 2 straight games, the first time since 1989. Roethlisberger was 7 years old when they last did that. The Ravens have allowed 1 player to rush for 60-plus yards in a game this season. That was Dalvin Cook in Week 9. Lamar Jackson has 3 touchdowns and 5 interceptions in 2 career starts versus the Steelers. Roethlisberger, he's won 6 of the last 7. All right, so here's the point. The Ravens have 16 points or fewer in 3 straight games for the first time since weeks 13 through 15, 2015. Do you guys know who the quarterbacks were for Baltimore in 2015 during the 13, 14, and 15 when they had 16 points or fewer in 3 straight games?
That would be Kyle Bowler, sir.
That is incorrect.
That would be. It was pre-Joe Flacco. It wasn't Kyle Bowler.
No. It was Joe Flacco was there. It was 2015. I mean, it's not that long ago. But Flacco was hurt.
Tyrod Taylor.
Matt Schwab. And Jimmy Clausen.
Oh, not Jimmy Clausen. His old ass.
Yep. After watching that game last week, real quick, with the Pittsburgh game, and that was just The Ben interceptions that he threw, it looks dead the way his arm is looking. It doesn't look consistent. He looks uncomfortable. It's slow. I will take Baltimore in this game.
Yeah, listen, guys, it's real simple. Ben Roethlisberger came back because he was guaranteed $60 million if he strapped up this year. Listen, I'll eat a hot chili pepper out of one of your guys' butt cheeks for $16 million guaranteed. I promise you, Ben Roethlisberger's going to show up.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
And try. It's a threat, not a tip. Not a temptation, buddy. 16 million will make you do a lot of crazy stuff, including come back and play in the NFL when you really shouldn't. Trust me, he's got many years left of going to college bars and doing all that stuff. But right now, Ben's in Pittsburgh.
Leave Urban Meyer alone.
Well, look, just saying, if he ever needs a quarterbacks coach, look, Tim Tebow was Aaron Hernandez's roommate in college, and Tim Tebow couldn't keep Aaron Hernandez from killing people. Tim Tebow definitely ain't going to keep Urban Meyer from getting some strange in a college bar on a recruiting visit in Columbus. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I think it's real simple here. Pittsburgh's down. They're on the decline. This may be the year that Pittsburgh makes a head coaching change. Not convinced, but may. We'll see. I'm going Baltimore.
I bet Big Ben's arm doesn't look dead when he's touching women in bars that he shouldn't be. He is just hot garbage. It's kind of sad. We make the jokes about like Jared Goff and how he looks like a statue. I mean, Big Ben can't move. He's old. His arm's dead, and it's time to hang up the cleats. I think we see Big Ben go in the Tony Romo route. I think he goes into broadcasting once he's done. But I don't think Tomlin's getting yanked. If they had a quarterback, Juju's out, Claypool's been in and out. Like Najee Harris is their rookie running back. Steelers aren't terrible.
They're bad.
I still think Buck Rogers goes there next year. But
look, I agree with you. But wash your damn mouth out with soap, saying the Steelers aren't terrible. You clown, Chris. What do you think?
Listen, their roster isn't terrible with the injuries and everything they have going on right now. Yeah, they're terrible. I'm taking Baltimore, but listen. Baltimore better get their shit figured out, or Cincinnati's going to sneak up and steal that division. I don't care if they do have the fourth hardest schedule.
There's not going to be no sneaking about it, bub. We're going to put our shit kicking boots on and stomp the damn floors when we come. Take
you guys got to worry about beating the Browns first and not getting routed by the
Browns.
Didn't you just play the Browns 2 weeks ago?
It's cute. Yeah. Hey, blind squirrels find a nut.
No. What happened?
Blind squirrels find a nut. They lost. Blind squirrels find a nut.
Got it.
Hang on. It was a 41-16 game where the Browns won.
Oh, what was the score when Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh?
41-10.
Okay. All right.
Checkmate.
Right.
Yeah. Checkmate, Browns.
There you go. All right. We'll see what happens when they play the Browns round 2.
Chris, what do you think?
That'll be January 9th. January 9th, by the way.
Chris?
I mean, that was pretty good stuff right there. I mean, I don't think it's that tough. I mean, Pittsburgh's not good right now. Baltimore's leading the division. I wouldn't lay the points just because you don't do that on the road in the division game. But I mean, I'm taking Baltimore.
Okay. Well, it appears based on Jordan's pick. Yep, it appears that we are all unanimous on Baltimore, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, let's be honest, they're the better team. So that leads us on to the next game. That, of course, is the Rams 13-point home favorites to Jacksonville. Ship, take it away.
All right, so for my stuff, Odell is a game time decision. He's got a hip injury, so he didn't even participate Thursday.
Has anyone asked his dad if he's going to play?
His dad will tell you if he's open.
Ben Skowronek, who's a wide receiver. Bet you didn't. He's a full participant. But Darrell Henderson's limited in his thigh injury. And then when you look at Jaguars, man, it's rough for them. But Tyson Campbell, Dakota Allen, and James Robinson should all be good. Shaquille Griffin will be out, their star corner. He will not be playing. And Miles Jack was a full participant, so he should be back this week. So Matthew Stafford, by the way, hasn't thrown a touchdown to Cooper Kupp in the last 3 games. He had an NFL leading 10 in the first 8 games. So he's thrown 3 touchdowns to opposing defenders over the last 3 games. How about that one? The Jaguars have lost 15 straight games to NFC opponents. The Jaguars have scored fewer than 20 points in 8 games this season. Only Detroit has more such games. The Jaguars' defense has allowed fewer than 350 yards in each of their 5 games since week 7. I mean, they look decent. I'll give them that. The Rams have lost 3 straight games after starting 7-1, and Josh had brought that up that, right now they are struggling, but I think this is kind of one of those that can right that ship, and they're at home in that SoFi Stadium at 4:00. LA. I'm not huffing because I can't make a pick. I was just catching my breath.
You're just getting old and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the 13 spread. Jacksonville's not good. Urban Meyer's probably not going to be there next year. I mean, let's be honest. Trevor Lawrence, terrible. Travis Etienne, hurt. Just a bad, no good here. Jacksonville. Luckily, AEW is profitable. So the Khan family's not on food stamps. I'm going Rams. Chris, Josh, anyone?
No,
he just took a
Rams.
fat bite. So go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
It's the Rams. I mean, they're at home playing a bad team. They've been looking like crap. I mean, I think they go out and try to prove that they're as good as people said they were 5-6 weeks ago. I typically would not think about laying 13 points, but I may in this game. Even though Jacksonville's defense has been better, most of their games have been going under. So 48 seems like a lot because Jacksonville may only score 7. So, I mean, could you see 41-7 to get you to your 48? I mean, it may be that. So,
but as we know, life's too short to take the under.
It is. But I think I'm taking the under in that game.
Jordan takes the Rams as well. Josh, what do you think?
So I have a question. Does Trevor Lawrence have as many interceptions as Joe Burrow this year?
He does not.
Hang on.
He's never on the field, so how could he?
Who?
They go 3 and out every time, so it's hard to throw picks.
Well, yeah, but and people listen. Everybody's going to realize sooner or later that Matt Stafford isn't that great. Like, he started the year off hot. Defensive coordinators have adjusted. Now he's throwing. They could run the ball.
I'd argue Matt Stafford is who we thought he was. The Rams aren't as good as we thought they were. Okay, go ahead.
Chip.
Okay. Trevor Lawrence's stats. He's got 2,300 yards passing, 9 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Joey Burrow, he's got 2,800 yards, 22 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. So, yes, Joey Burrow has more interceptions than Trevor Lawrence.
But I'll take the first.
I'm just letting you.
I'll take Joe Burrow's stats in that line. In that
exactly.
Sense, but
you can win. You can win throwing 1 pick a game.
Yeah, Joe's had a few picks that have been like,
not his fault. Not his fault.
He's got a 66% completion rating. Trevor Lawrence is 58% completion rating.
Yeah, I'll take Joey Burrow in that matchup. But regardless, this is a get right game for the Rams. They desperately need a win with Arizona running away with the division. If they keep messing around, they may not even make the playoffs with that roster. And if I'm a Rams fan or if I'm in the Rams organization, I'm upset because we gave up we're still paying Jared Goff. We gave up first round pick for Stafford, and this is what we get. The issue with the Rams, they can't run the ball right now because Henderson's out.
Their defense is not good either.
And their defense isn't playing well. You have Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Von Miller. Von
Miller has been garbage.
Listen,
what are you doing?
Listen, here's what you need to know.
Good job, Denver, getting rid of identifying a guy that had lost it.
Well, Von Miller made the tweet that, went to bed 500, woke up 7-1. I don't think they've won a game since he's been there.
They haven't.
They haven't.
It's asinine. People think that you can just throw the best team or the best players out there and you're going to win games, and that's not how the NFL operates.
Yeah, he used to could be good.
Used to could be good.
You can give up. And what's sad for the Rams if Stafford's not the answer, they don't have a first round pick. Like they don't have picks to rebuild.
There's no good quarterbacks
Stafford
coming
is
out
good
this year
enough
anyway.
to not have to worry about a quarterback next
Is he
year.
good enough to carry an offense? Because it doesn't look like he is.
Yeah,
Hold on.
listen, Stafford's not the biggest problem they have. I'd say he's a very small part of the problem.
Who's the biggest problem then? What's
their
the problem?
defense that you could shoot holes through with a Red Ryder BB gun
It's
from
not your
400
defense's fault
yards.
when your quarterback's throwing picks and or throwing pick sixes to teams.
He's got granted 3 pick sixes. That's fine. He's got fewer interceptions.
On the flip side of that,
he's got fewer interceptions than Burrow and 2 or 3 of these other quarterbacks who no one would ever say, "Oh, they're the problem." Stafford's not the problem. The problem is the Rams. Is 9 interceptions. That's 3 less than Joe Burrow. The problem is,
and he's almost 4,000 yards passing.
The problem is
we're
not
in week 13.
Matt Stafford.
He's got 9 interceptions, so he's less than 1 a week on an offense that's throwing it 45 times a week.
But that's the problem, is they're throwing it 45 times a week.
Okay, so then you know what? Then maybe they're just a tackle away. Maybe they're
hold on. They're throwing 45 times because they don't have anybody to give the rock to. They don't have receivers that have separating speed. Let's be honest, not any good ones anyway. They got rid of Deshaun Jackson because he's old and he was like the fastest receiver on their team. And they cut him. I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying you lack receivers with separating power. All of your decent receivers aren't breaking away from anybody. They're route runners. They're pocket receivers. Like that, they don't have a deep ball threat, and that's what Stafford needs. And he's still putting the stats up. Their secondary is atrocious. The fact that Jalen Ramsey ever had half an inch of dick to say he was the best, the secondary player in the NFL. He's terrible. He's
not.
Stop. It's like
he's a top 5 cornerback.
He is not. Now, I will promise
he might be in the top 3.
As someone who plays daily fantasy, and you know cornerbacks to stay away from, he's one of them. So don't say that. Don't say that it's Jalen. The problem is shades of when Darrelle Revis claimed Aaron Donald is getting a double team, and Von Miller or the other 2 guys on that 4-man front do nothing.
So look,
that's true.
Getting blown up more than a freaking than firecrackers on the 4th of July. He has done nothing. As a matter of fact, he's been pancaked a lot. It is. They are offensive linemen and defensive linemen away, and it's secondary help away.
Look, Rashad Fenton is the number 1 ranked corner for ranked PFF. That's 86% on your defense, 76. Jalen Ramsey is ranked 2nd. He is right behind them. You've got AJ Terrell, Justin Coleman, and so on and so forth as it ranks down. I mean, when you look at it, Trayvon Diggs isn't even up there as far as the PFF, and he leads.
That's because he gives. He's bomb bust though.
He is. He's very aggressive on his push. But that's what I'm just saying is Rashad Fenton on Kansas City, who is a defense that always is lackluster. His coverage rate is 86.5. Jalen Ramsey's coverage rate is
50,000 guesses, and I would have never came up with that name.
AJ Terrell is the number 3 ranked corner per PFF. So. Don't sleep on Jalen. Jalen's number 2. Don't.
He's a baller out of Florida State. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, it's shades of when Darrelle Revis had 2 good seasons and called himself the greatest defensive back in the history of the NFL. Jalen Ramsey might be above average right now.
You can say he's not going to be good next year, but this year he is good.
But you can't even say that because in 2016 he was ranked. It was at 72 was his defensive grade. 2017 he's 91. 18 and 19 he is at 72. 2020 he's at 77. Then he's back at 84. So it's not that he just falls off and he's completely trash. I mean, look at it. He's with how long has he been with LA? What, 2 years maybe? And in those 2 years he's 77 and 84. When he's with Jacksonville, he's 72, 72. And he had a fucking 91 rating when he's with Jacksonville on a shitty team.
So no. That year was Jacksonville when they
they had Blake.
That was the year they were really good. Yeah,
Blake Bortles was a quarterback for them,
and they had the Patriots beat.
Well, as long as we're all saying things that I don't care about, let's go to the next game.
That's why we love you, Nate.
It's
you don't care about it.
It's the Seahawks.
Just don't give a damn.
In San Francisco. Look, hey, listen. I don't fucking like Jalen Ramsey. I don't give a damn what his PF Chang rating is. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
He's just wrong. He
said his PF Chang rating.
I don't care about none of that shit.
Why do I feel like I'm going to hear that on Super Bowl weekend? The PF Chang.
By the way,
it's
Jacksonville Jaguars had Leonard Fournette
on 12-3 when you want to save that hot take. All right.
There you go.
Leonard Fournette was the running back on that 2017 Jacksonville team, by the way.
Yeah.
And he was.
Listen,
he was good.
When Super Bowl Lenny's getting the rock, you don't have to play good defense.
You understand? The Leonard Fournette won a guy with a ridiculous lineup, the Millie on DraftKings on Sunday.
Oh, I'm sure.
With the most garbage lineup you could have ever thought about, and Super Bowl Lenny had 4 touchdowns.
It was one of those lineups where the guy's like, "Hey, watch this waste of $5."
You know what? Hey, Chris, you know the difference between you and that guy?
Yeah,
he has $1 million.
Hey, he played Leonard Fournette, and I never even considered him
he should start a Facebook thing.
I did hit some pretty good money last week though, especially on Super Draft. I had one that paid about $350, so I did hit pretty good, but I didn't have Super Bowl Lenny, and I won't again this week because it'll never happen again.
I'm still waiting for your Super Bowl pick, the Washington Racisms, to make it. Waiting for them to pick it up a little bit.
They've won 3 straight.
Yeah, but
including beating the defending Super Bowl champion. You want me to pull that stat up again?
San Francisco, Seattle.
No, I was gonna say what I want to do is tell you guys why Jimmy G's gonna put the wood to Seattle this week, but I don't know if I can say that because they're only 3.5-point favorites. I'm gonna start this one. Ship's gonna tell me. Ship's gonna read some more PF Chain ratings about why I'm wrong. But before we get to the fried rice 2 egg roll meal portion of the show, I'm gonna take San Francisco because I think Seattle is terrible and I think San Francisco is less terrible, and that is the extent of my hot take for this game.
So, looking at your pick, San Francisco will not have Dre Greenlaw. They still don't have Trey Sermon. They will not have Deebo Samuel. So, all you're going to have is Mitchell as your only player. Maybe George Kittle. Deebo's out. Nope, you can't change. Nope. And
all right, go ahead.
Mitchell. You got Kittle. That's it. But Seattle, which is fun. Anybody see who Seattle?
Oh, you picked Seattle? Okay.
No.
They signed Adrian Peterson.
They signed him because when you look at it, they've got Alex Collins is out, Rashad Penny is out, Travis Homer is out. 4 of their running backs who are injured are not or could be questionable. So DK Metcalf was full participation, Travis Homer.
Is Adrian Peterson good enough to just plug and play in any of the offenses?
Yeah, he's experienced enough that you could plug him in, tell him
on that team because they have dog water.
So look, the last 3 games, Russell's lost 3 straight for the first time in his career. That's the first time he's ever lost 3 straight. He's 16-4 versus San Francisco in his career. He's averaging he's never had 275 plus passing yards in a game. Jimmy G has a 90-plus passer rating in 5 straight games. Seattle has scored 15 points or fewer in 3 straight. Elijah Mitchell has 100-plus rushing yards in 4 games this season. That's the most by any San Francisco rookie since 1950. And the Seahawks converted 32% of their third downs. They have the worst 11-game start under Pete Carroll, by the way, since they were 2-9 in 2008. Okay, give me Seattle.
Attaboy. I knew it.
I have to.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna say neither one of these quarterbacks are playing for the team that they start with this week. Jimmy G is gonna be gone from San Fran next year, and Russell Wilson's gonna be gone from Seattle next year. Go ahead and book that one right now. Give me San Fran in this. They can run the ball. I just watched them run all over the Vikings defense, and I think the Vikings have a better defense than Seattle. I think right now Jimmy G is playing significantly better football than Russell Wilson. I think Russell's just kind of coasting it in for this year. He knows he doesn't have a great football team, which is insane to me that they have receivers like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, and he can't do anything, or they can't do anything on the offensive side of the ball. But if you're only throwing the ball as a DC, you can adjust and don't have to load the box because they're not running the ball. So I'm gonna take San Francisco in this. I just think Jimmy G right now is playing better than Russell Wilson. So give me the Niners.
Chris?
Man, I have heard some of the people that I listen to the most take the Seahawks all day.
Go ahead, pump Ship's ego with his PF Chang ratings. Go ahead.
No, but you know what? I think the reason why the 49ers has looked good is because Debo's made them look good.
He's doing the Cordero Patterson skit. They started using him just like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like
that was a really big
And I feel like if they were playing any other team other than Seattle's defense, who has been atrocious.
True.
That I could jump on why I would go against the 49ers. Right now, I think the 49ers are the better coach team. I think Brandon Ayuk is going to do good enough. I'm going to take the Niners. I mean, I'm going to take the Niners. Yeah.
I'll be the lone. That's fine.
I'm with you, and you know what? But there's no running game.
You're there in spirit.
Yeah, I get it. Seattle has no running game, zero.
They got Adrian Peterson. What more do you want? What's Adrian Peterson?
They're calling up Josh Johnson.
What's
okay. So I'm good. Do you need me to repeat myself, or can we just keep it moving?
No, I got you, San Francisco. We can keep it moving. Next game on the docket, by the way, we're on to the Sunday night game. Kansas City, Denver. The Chiefs are almost 10-point favorites at home, 9.5 points. What do you got for us, Ship?
Oh, let's see. I haven't pulled up this yet, but look, Mahomes is 7-0 career versus the Broncos. That's tied for the fourth most wins without a loss by a quarterback with a division opponent. Teddy Bridgewater, he's got a 100+ passer rating in each of his 6 wins this season. I think he got hurt, a little bit last week. They brought in Locke. He got a little winded, or it was something with his shoulder, I think, watching that game. Look, Andy Reid's 19-3 as a head coach coming off of a bye in a regular season. The Chiefs have won 3 of their last 4 while scoring 20 or fewer. The Chiefs have allowed fewer than 20 points. Where's my fun little stat? Look, Patrick Mahomes has a sub-90 passer rating in 6 games this season. That's a career high. So it's kind of been interesting to see where it is. Injuries. Everybody's looks to be playing for the Broncos, and Rashad Fenton, or Fenton, who we talked about, who's the number 1 corner, he's actually going to be out this game. So your number 1 corner will not be covering Patrick most likely. But I like Kansas City in this game.
Fair enough. Chris, what do you think?
I mean,
Jordan takes Kansas City, by
the way. I also take Kansas City.
I'm taking Kansas City. I mean, but do I think the Broncos could, yeah, but I mean, the smart play is to play Kansas City. They're hot. So no Melvin Gordon. Devontae probably gets off a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and take Kansas City.
I'm with Kansas City. Well, Josh, did you want to add anything, or just take Kansas City? Done with it.
Just give me the Chiefs and be done with it.
By the way, Adrian Peterson's PFF ranking is 71.8. By the way, what his grade is, just so you know.
Like a D minus.
His PF Chang rating?
Yeah.
What's Joe Mixon?
Fuck your life! Bing bong!
What's Joe Mixon's PF Chang rating?
He is a 83.
Okay.
He's the 6th ranked running back.
There you go. I'd take him over probably every one of those except Derrick Henry. Last game, Monday Night Football. Going to be a good one. Bills Mafia. Patriots in
How
Buffalo.
big a boy are you?
In Buffalo.
Bing bong.
Bing bong in Buffalo. Chip, what do you got on this one, brother?
All right, so This is the 15th matchup between the number one scoring defense, which is New England, and the number one total defense in Buffalo since 1990. The number one total defense has won 11 of the previous 14 matchups. Stephon Diggs and
Hall of Famer hold on, to clarify, so that stat favors Buffalo.
That stat does favor Buffalo.
Okay.
So Stephon Diggs and Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison are the only players with 200-plus receiving yards and 3-plus receiving touchdowns in a season versus New England since 2000. The Patriots and Bills have met with a winning record 12 times since 2000. You can guess what side of the teeter-totter has the most on this since 2000. Obviously, it's the Brady's. They were 10-2 in those matchups. Per PFF, by the way, Tre'Davious White is one of two quarterbacks with 50-plus targets and 0 touchdowns allowed in coverage this season. Can you guess the other quarterback? And you will not get it.
Jalen Ramsey.
New York Jets, Michael Carter II.
You think he was named after Lil Wayne's second album?
Possibly. Look, each of the Bills' last 14 wins. You caught Chris in a giggle.
Caught him.
That was great. Yes, it was.
Bing bong, caught in 4K.
Yeah, that was absolutely great.
Everybody's expected to play for New England. There's no major injuries and no other major injuries for Buffalo. So it's actually going to be a full time from what it looks like. I mean, it's great and all New England, but they're actually going to face a decent defense here in this game. I mean, hell, they held Jacksonville to 9 points, even though they only scored 6. I mean, I like Mac Jones. I picked up Kendrick Bourne last week, and he got me 2 touchdowns, which was fun. I had to pick him up for an emergency because of CeeDee Lamb. But I picked this quarterback to be the MVP, and I think this is the game that he shows out. Buffalo.
I was gonna say, yeah. You did not pick Mac Jones to be MVP. What you mean?
Jones.
You said it. You set us all up like you're taking New England. Listen, I still think Josh Allen gonna be the MVP. Buffalo's gonna be in Super Bowl contention. They're gonna have to do something with the Patriots, and this ain't gonna be the last matchup they have with them here. I don't think the Patriots have surprised everybody. I said early season Mac Jones going to be a good NFL quarterback. He honestly looks like he has the potential to be a great NFL quarterback down there. Not there yet. It's his rookie season, but it's very, very interesting. Very interesting because the whole conversation, was it Brady? Was it Belichick? Brady leaves. It looks like it was Brady. Now maybe it was a good partnership. I don't know.
I mean, I think Mac Jones is an Alex Smith career.
Could be. Alex Smith, very above average. Wouldn't say he's great, but I mean, I've seen
above average game manager with big game possibility.
Yeah, I would say Smith was a great game manager. He lacked in some of the physical attributes, the quickness, the arm strength, that sort of thing. And I think that Mac Jones is going to be able to really, really test what he's got up his sleeves here as we get closer to the end of the season. I think the Patriots are in a position to be competitive, make a playoff run. What he does is going to position the conversation around him going into next season. Again, I've not necessarily seen anything to say he's the next, Tom Brady type quarterback, but he's playing the way that he's playing and managing those games and leading that team is a similar style to what a guy like Brady, or I guess to a different extent, Alex Smith, he's not going to be a Matt Stafford throwing for 1.5 million yards and losing 8 games. I could easily see him being a very, very good to great quarterback on some really good New England. Chris, what do you think in this game, bud?
Nathan, who'd you take?
I didn't take.
I was waiting for you to.
I'll pick. If you want me to pick, I'll pick. Jordan takes the Patriots, so there's that. I like you said, I said a lot of good things there about Mac Jones. I think Josh Allen's going to ultimately end up being the NFL MVP. I think the Bills are probably in the Super Bowl. But I think the Patriots are going to give them hell, and I think the Patriots are going to sneak one this week. So I'm looking for New England to pull it off on the road.
So they go to 7-5, and you still think they make it to the Super Bowl? It's right now, but you think New England beats them this? Your logic is off, but okay.
Are you implying? Hold on. I am taking the Pats. Are you implying that at 7-5 the Bills are out of the playoff hunt? That would be confusing.
You push it further down. You've got Miami that's coming up, but you're putting them further down. And then you say that Josh Allen's an MVP, but he's got to show out for 4 more games to prove it. But
you said Josh Allen was the MVP.
You also said it too.
Okay.
But I say he shows out this game to earn it. You're basically saying he's going to play shitty and lose this game and still win the MVP.
No, that's the thing. I think the Patriots are good enough to beat the Bills when the Bills don't play bad. You're assuming that the only way that me picking the Patriots means the Bills are going to go lay a fucking egg. I don't think so.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be a great game. I think the Patriots are a good team. I think the Bills are a good team. Listen, it's the NFL. If you're a good team,
you're the person that voted for Bryce Harper to get the MVP on the Phillies. Okay, that's what you are.
I literally went off about that when he won. I was so fucking mad, and you know that. Shut up. You're a troll.
All right, I'm gonna write the ship here. I'm gonna write the ship here.
There ain't no writing that ship. He's gone. Sink him. He's worthless.
Winner of this game takes sole possession of the AFC East division lead. Whoever wins this game. Okay. So let's go through New England because New England's won 6 straight. Do you know who they beat? Because it's all hot garbage. Okay. They beat the Chargers on the road and by 3 points. They beat the Panthers, who are in disarray, terrible. They beat the Browns, which we found out were pretenders. They beat the Falcons, who we all shit on earlier. They beat the banged up Titans, and now they play the Bills. So they get the Bills in 2 of the next 3 weeks. They get the Bills. So we're really going to see what the Patriots are made of. I think that they're still pretenders because you watched them play a Dallas team. Dallas came in there and beat them. They played an offense that could actually move the ball and a defense that is serviceable, and they lost the game. They beat – where was it? You look at the teams that they played, man. Like they beat the Jets. Now they beat the Panthers. Now they get the Bills, the Colts, the Bills, the Jags, and the Dolphins. They could easily lose 4 of the next 5 or 4 of their last 5 and be out of the playoffs.
Jameis Winston beat them, by the way. In case
Jameis Winston did pick them apart because we all were on here saying like, "Oh,
he's elite."
He's after he picked them apart.
He is elite.
Listen, the Patriots aren't as good as people think they are, and they're not as good as their record shows. They've just played some trash opponents. I get you play your schedule, but the back half of their schedule is very, very heavy. They're going to lose to the Bills twice. They're going to lose to the Colts, and they're going to be in the last game of the year against the Dolphins in Miami. They're going to have to win that game to make the playoffs. Give me the Bills in this game. I would take the Bills -6. Because I don't think it's even close. I think the Bills pick them apart. I don't think Josh Allen's still in the MVP talks. He hasn't really played well. He's got too many of those games. So give me the Bills in this game. I don't think it's close.
Chris, what do you think?
I think Jonathan Taylor gets the MVP.
I think that
that's my front runner right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Patriots and the Bills both have really good defenses, and I think that the Bills are at home, and I think that the Bills have a superior offense. So I'm going to take the Bills.
The Bills back into their schedule also, by the way. They play the Patriots this week. They have the Buccaneers next week, which that'll be a really good game. They have the Panthers, the Patriots again, the Falcons, and the Jets. So, I mean,
they're going to win their last 2 to go in.
If you look at their schedules, it definitely favors Buffalo to win the division and get that home playoff game. So, I mean, if you're going to pick a team to make a run in it, that's going to be my pick.
Okay. I like that. Good job.
Uh-huh.
So, hold on. So, just to clarify, Ship, he's saying that what I'm
agreeing with Nathan saying that Buffalo is primed to make a playoff run.
He just doesn't think Buffalo wins today. So, let's say Buffalo.
Me?
Right.
Yeah, no,
that's what I meant. You picked Buffalo, not the Patriots.
No, Buffalo's getting ready to go on a tear.
That's what I'm saying.
People are they're gonna go to the playoffs hot on a win streak.
I think this is the Patriots' chance to sneak one. I don't think they're going to get one on Buffalo at the end of the season because Buffalo's going to be wheels
Now, do
on
you wanna
fire
hear-
towards
Do you
the
want to hear a
playoffs.
hot take?
Go.
Buffalo plays Tennessee the first round of the playoffs since they don't get the bye. Derrick Henry comes back for Tennessee and runs all over Buffalo and beats them, and then they get knocked out of the playoffs.
I love it.
Could happen. Tennessee surprised some people 2 years ago. So, all right. So we're split on that one. Jordan and I take New England. Everybody else takes Buffalo. Guys, that's a wrap for the games. Let's
That's
give
it.
final thoughts and shut the bitch down. Here, I'll give you Jordan's. I'll give you Jordan's final thought. The Vikings are really cool, and I hate all the other teams. And I have to work tomorrow morning really early. Next.
Final thought. Really excited for the games this weekend. We got the college football championship week. I just want to say, because I've had the Utah game put up on my side monitor here. We're at that time of the year where they do like the tuition giveaway, the Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway. And I think we need a rule change in this. I just watched one of the girls take the ball and hold the ball sideways and push it forward.
That's how they do it. Yeah, that's how they do it.
No.
Yeah.
We need to change that rule that you have to do a football throwing motion, because come on now. That's not a thing. We need to Go ahead.
All I'm saying is that if Cam Newton did this with the ball and someone caught it and ran it for a touchdown, that's a touchdown pass in the NFL.
Or an underhand.
Or underhand.
Oh,
or
so
even
we can granny toss into the Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway? No. Come on now. Come on.
Hey.
It should be a rule. You have to throw the football like a football.
I tell you what. Go get a job at Dr. Pepper, become their chief marketing officer, and then you can make that rule. Until then, shut up.
Bet. I'll do it. Bing bong.
Fuck your life. Bing bong.
All right.
That is great.
So, of course, you gave his bad final thought. Chris, what's your final thought of the week?
I'm actually was thinking I was gonna feed off the college side of it there. I mean, a lot of these games this week in the NFL are total mismatches, and the ones that seem like our pick'ems are kind of bad teams. There's a few different matchups in there, some good teams, but I was gonna go on the college side. I think Georgia puts Alabama in their place. I still don't think that UC can play with any of the top three. I think UC is not as good as Oklahoma State. And so, I mean, this weekend's gonna play out in that, which is gonna be exciting.
You'd be in last place in a college pick'em.
Would I?
You would.
Hang on.
I'm pretty sure.
Hang on. Isn't this the guy that said he would have taken Michigan State minus 12?
Sorry that their
12?
starting running back was hurt.
No,
Sorry.
we're not talking about that. Didn't you say that you would take Michigan State over Ohio State if you got 12 points? They were getting 20. You said, up 20, give me 12.
Listen,
they need 12
their
in the game.
running back was hurt and not listed on the injury report. That obviously makes a fucking difference.
Too if we were down 21-0 after 3 plays.
Josh, Ohio State doesn't have the running defense to hold him to 25 yards if he's healthy. Don't be an idiot. Look at the game.
You have to throw the ball if you're down 21-0. You got to open it up. You change your play. You change your whole game style.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Oh, the lock of the week. That's right.
Michigan State's running back was injured. That's a completely. It's a high potential Heisman finalist running back is injured and not listed on the injury report. Goes for 25 yards. They can't stay on the field, so C.J. Stroud tap dances on the worst secondary in America. It was the perfect storm. What do you want me to say? He left because he's too much of an idiot to listen to logic. Anyway, here's my final thought of the evening. It's Daniel Ship's turn, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
So look, I believe that Oklahoma City should lose their basketball team after what I saw the other day. I don't know if you guys, it was a 60. What was it, like a
73?
Yeah, it was 79 to 152. Basketball is retarded. I'm also laughing as a Texas fan that every major commit that was going to go to Oklahoma is now leaving Oklahoma, which makes me super happy. They're going out there to the West Coast
just in time for you guys to finish beneath Missouri in a couple of years.
To be in the SEC.
Yeah, we are, because we're going to get the number one quarterback, Quentin Ewers, from Ohio State entered the transfer portal.
I thought you were gonna get. I thought you was gonna get the Manning kid.
Please. No, LSU thinks they got him locked up.
Like 2 more years. Arch still has like 2 more years.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get we'll get Quinn.
Hey, tell me if that guy's so good, how come he's sitting behind CJ Stroud, who's also a freshman?
I don't know what to tell you. I'm just telling you. We're gonna get the number 1 quarterback. We'll get Quinn.
At least in Joe Burrow's defense, he was gonna have to sit for 2 years behind upperclassmen. Quinn just got flat beat by somebody in the same class as him. But anyway.
In case you're wondering, he went to South Lake Carroll, which is in Texas. He initially committed to Texas.
I'm aware of such things.
He's coming back.
But then Ohio State offered to let him skip his senior season real early, and it was a whole huge mess.
And he went and got $1 million.
At one point,
GT Sports Marketing.
At one point, Ohio State was going to allow him to enroll before even graduating high school, and they got threatened by a bunch of lawyers in Columbus to get sued into oblivion. So they made him figure out a way to graduate before they could let him enroll. And
do what you got to do.
That's why he ended up skipping.
He'll be our starting quarterback in the Burn Orange come when we have to play Alabama.
He's going to look great at 5th place in the SEC West. Anyway,
we still alive?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So don't say anything crazy. So for my final thought of the evening, again, I just want to thank everybody who tunes in. We did get a comment on the Facebook feed, which is really only there. I don't advertise the Facebook or the YouTube feed. It's really only there just to record the videos so that I don't have to actually record them on my computer. We did get a comment from a guy. He says, "Breaking news, a starting NFL quarterback is preparing to come out as gay in the next few days." So what we're going to do is everybody's going to say who they think it is.
I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game.
No context. No, listen. No context. No backup. Just give me a name, and then we're going to call it a night. Chris, who do you think it's going to be?
I'm not playing this game.
Chris is thinking too hard about this. That's not.
No, I have a name, but I'm not going to say it first.
I'm not playing this game.
Derek Carr.
Ooh, that would be big. I'm
saying Tua.
Oh, no shot. It's Tua.
Joe Burrow.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You know what's funny is that was the first thing that came to my head. Like, he's never been... AJ McCarron always had Catherine, what's her name?
Joey has some girlfriends.
Oh, I know. The reason you don't see the reason you don't see him with a girlfriend is the same reason you didn't see Derek Jeter with one for the first 15 years of his career. It wasn't because he's gay. I'm just telling you. But anyway, with that being said, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We will be back next week. And as always...